They ignored me. They always ignored me. So when the world ended and the cell block opened up, I tracked them down and I left them in here to rot. Just like they left me!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 differences between the Twisted Metal show and games.
Let's face it, boys and girls. A man has to have his priorities.
For this list, we're rattling off some noticeable changes we found in the Twisted Metal series that weren't in the games. Did you find any of these yourself? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. The setting. The show is very quick to establish the rules of the world and how society functions in a Y2K-esque post-apocalypse. While it all makes some sense, this is not at all what happens in any of the games. Twisted Metal was always super straightforward in its premise. Every game features a tournament where insane criminals run around the world trying to blow up their cars, all for a chance at being granted one wish. Though the first season does not focus on this sort of story at first, the second seems like it'll be introducing that kind of story.
From one brother to another, I propose a clash! Let it begin!
At least they're having a good time.
Number 9. John Doe.
ID.
In Twisted Metal Black, John Doe is amnesiac, just as the John Doe we've come to love in the TV show. The difference between the two is in the background. The TMB version of John Doe eventually learns that he was an FBI agent who went undercover to try and bring down a dangerous cult.
But then he shows me this picture. Me, in a suit, all nice and neat, like I was actually someone important.
Luckily, the John Doe in the show is nothing like that, at least judging from his backstory and how he found Evelyn. But you know what they have in common? Roadkill.
She never dies. Wipe that tear away now from your eye.
Number 8. Agent Stone.
Well, hello. It's a mystery how our paths just keep crossing. My men say that you have a darling voice. I'm excited to hear what comes out of it.
Agent Stone is interesting in how the name has been used for two vastly different characters. The original Twisted Metal showed an Agent Stone that was an FBI agent who drove Crimson Fury in order to retrieve an alien artifact. But the Agent Stone in the show is mostly based on the Twisted Metal Black iteration, as both would accidentally take the life of a miner.
Those people were dead, and it was all my fault.
The difference between the two is that TMB's Stone would forever live with a guilty conscience, while the show Stone used the law as a cover for his blind rage.
I'll find you.
Oh yeah? Where? In the afterlife?
Number 7. Raven.
Hi, John. I'm Raven, COO of New San Francisco. Let me get you a drink.
The Raven we know in the show is almost nothing like her video game counterpart. Almost. In the show, Raven is an older woman, played by the fine Neve Campbell, who rules New San Francisco. But in Twisted Metal Black, she holds no title remotely in the same vein.
Revenge, this way. It's what Kelly would have wanted more than anything in the world. An eye for an eye, blood for blood.
Instead, she is a teenage girl competing in the tournament to get revenge on a couple of bullies who got her friend Kelly killed. Judging from the show's Raven hanging out at a bar called Kelly's and using voodoo dolls, maybe this story might surface in the second season.
So what do you say, John? Will you drive?
Number 6. Mike and Stu.
How was I supposed to know the woods would be crawling with butchers?
Talking about getting us exiled. You had to get caught sleeping on duty.
Hey, you were sleeping too.
I wasn't the one snoring like a golden heat.
It's called sleep apnea. It's a real medical condition.
Not much is different about Mike and Stu. Their initial debut in Twisted Metal 2 was pretty much the same as the show's versions. Both of them are bumbling idiots who worry too much about themselves to care about rejoining society, let alone deal with the maniacs running around.
Hey man, this can't be right.
But the biggest difference between the show and game Mikes and Stews is their monster truck. Hammerhead is nowhere to be found in the show, and with the way the first season ended, we have a feeling Hammerhead might appear with a completely different driver, maybe Catfish from Head On.
And you guys look great, by the way. I love your shirts, man. What are you, like a club or a team or something?
We're officers of the law.
Number 5, Granny Dread.
Someone there? I brought you to the milkman, Granny.
Oh. Yeah, get up and shake your hands, but my getaway sticks ain't what they used to be.
Speaking of Hammerhead drivers, Granny Dread was the driver for the monster truck in Twisted Metal 3, and her reason for competing was simply to live her remaining days with some peace and quiet as the tournament caused too much racket.
I can't even hear my TV with all that racket. I'll run them out once and for all.
Obviously, this is nothing like the show's Granny Dread. In the show, Granny is the eldest of a clan that travels in groups of juggernauts and asks John and Quiet to fetch some ingredients. These ingredients are to help her pass into the afterlife for some peace and quiet. Number 4, The Preacher.
Gods and goddesses, it is my honor to be with you again here in Colorado for our annual pilgrimage, the Rocky Mountain Fest!
Many might be quick to point out the show's Preacher holds the same backstory as Twisted Metal Black's Preacher. However, we want to focus more on their character. Preacher in TMB is an old and very religious man, one who specializes in exorcisms and curses.
But the beast was too powerful, even as I ministered to the child. The demon brought its foul influence upon me and entered my mind.
The Preacher in the show is nowhere close to that. Instead, this preacher leans in the opposite direction, deliberately turning against his religion and leading a clan that indulges in debauchery. However, they did make him the leader of the Holy Men, just as he was in the 2012 Twisted Metal game.
I guess take the new guy to time out and take that fucker down.
Don't let it ruin your night.
It's too late, Janice.
Number 3, Miranda and Amber.
This is Flower Power.
I didn't think I'd hear your voice again, Amber.
The Twisted Metal show does such a unique and fun job in mixing characters from across every game and putting them together in interesting ways. Case in point, Miranda Watts and Amber Rose. One is the memorable driver of Twister in Head On, the other, one of the least liked characters in TM3, the worst game in the franchise.
Boycotts and picketing are useless. Fighting isn't cool, but it's up to me to save our beautiful planet.
And yet, the way the show tells the story of a relationship between them gives the show some beauty in its romance outside of John and Quiet. In the games though, they never meet.
I'm sorry too, but I'm more sorry that I pushed you away.
I miss you too, hun.
Number 2, Blackfield Asylum.
You know, my parents sent me here because I got in a disagreement with my co-star. Well, actually, they sent me to the kiddie ward, and then I moved to the Juvie Wellness Center. Oh, and then finally got bumped up to Blackfield after I murdered my roommate.
Many fans of TMB will recall Blackfield Asylum as being the starting points for every contestant. Every character comes from this haunting place: Raven, Agent Stone, Preacher, and our favorite psychopath.
The sheer volume of people I'd killed, it was breathtaking.
However, you can't squeeze all of them into one place for a show like this. Blackfield Asylum took a smaller role in the show and only serves as the home of one criminal, one man so dangerous that his name sends a shudder down anyone's spine, one crazed murderer who rules all of Vegas.
Because we all know what I do to naughty dogs.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Sweet Tooth.
You're not coming to my show? Well, then the show is coming to you.
One of the biggest concerns with the show was how it was going to depict Sweet Tooth. We knew the killer in the early days as a simple clown with some really weird wishes before he became the menace we knew in Black, Head On, and 2012.
After all, I could always kill him later.
The show's version is a mix of the two with some original ideas, specifically in making him a failed child actor turned criminal. Even the hardcore Twisted Metal fan on our team wasn't expecting a thespian Sweet Tooth to be as hilarious and frightening as he turned out to be.
And that concludes our tour.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.